Good afternoon, everybody. So before actually start the class, so we need to cultivate the proper motivation. Everything change according to the motivation. Therefore, we everybody cultivate great compassion towards all sentient beings. And wish to benefit all sentient beings. In order to benefit all sentient beings, and most importantly, we need to be Buddha. We have to free from the ignorance. Otherwise, we always wish to benefit all sentient beings. We cannot, because the ignorance is always there. Even though in our daily life, we wish to support to someone due to our ignorance, we cannot benefit. Therefore, in order to achieve Buddhahood, we need to eliminate the root of the samsara. Also, we need to accomplish the actual cause for achieving Buddhahood, which is the wisdom realize emptiness. So realizing emptiness is so important for eliminating the ignorance. Realizing emptiness is also very important for achieving liberation, achieving Buddhahood. So as an ordinary person like us, how we can really able to realize emptiness? So we must understand to realize emptiness through study. I said many times, even the simple walk, making a cake, when we need to learn from others, or we need to learn from books, we need to learn from the internet. It's a very simple job. Of course, realizing emptiness, we need to study based on the stainless treatise. First, the teaching taught by Buddha, like a Heart Sutra, all the extensive perfection teachings. Those teachings are too extensive, because we don't have a time to go through all the chapters. Yes, we can read through, but we're not going to understand exactly the meaning of emptiness. Therefore, during the Nagarjuna's lifetime in India, there wasn't many master and teacher who really could teach emptiness. He found very few masters who really has the lineage, who has the instruction about emptiness. And he had, he gone through all the Prajanaparamita teaching, including Heart Sutra, then he thought is too vast, too extensive. Therefore, all the meanings of the Prajanaparamita teachings, mainly emptiness, he extracts into the Mule Madhyamaka Karika. Then in order to explain more precisely about the emptiness, then he composed the other 5 treatises to make sure there's no misunderstanding, make sure he responds all the question on the topic of emptiness. Then later, when Chandrakirti he studied about the Mule Madhyamaka Karika, then he realized, Master Nagarjuna very much focused on explaining emptiness. At the same time, he explained the method parts, which is bodhicitta, great compassion, but very little. Therefore, he composed the root text, make sure the profound, expensive teaching must put together in the middle way. So we are, in a way, very lucky person, because the root text composed by Nagarjuna, composed by Chandrakirti, all of them available in Tibetan language, Chinese language, English, in other language. So right now we, so actually we have been studying the entering middle way by Chandrakirti, particularly the 6th chapter, chapter 6. The chapter 6 is the manifest chapter. Manifest means, so when the Bodhisattva accomplish the 6th ground, he or she is very, ready, ready to achieve Buddhahood. Because in one hand, the Bodhisattvas seriously, sincerely practice bodhicitta based on great compassion. In the other hand, the Bodhisattva was fully absorbed, realize the ultimate truth. So the 5th Bodhisattva entering into the 6th bhumi, he entered through the 10 equanimities, 10 equanimities. Within the 10s, the first 2 are the general explanation about emptiness. The rest are, detailed explanation about the first 2. Among the 10 equanimities, you can see like a reflection of the moon, mirage, illusion. These are the analogy or example. So today, first everybody just reflect on the reflection of the moon in the water. So everybody imagine we are next to the water and we can see the moon reflection in the water. If we don't really realize the moon is actually in the skies, then we believe, or the moon is in the river or in the water, in the pot. So when we look at the reflection of the moon in the water, we can see exactly the shape, the color of the sun is the same, similar, which is the moon, the actual moon in the sky. Therefore, the moon is there. The reflection of the moon is there, depends on many causes and conditions. Then also, like a child, they believe there's a moon. Then the story, like a monkey was trying to take out a moon from the water. Because the monkey was so worried, how come the moon is actually falling into water? There was a group of monkey, they came and they tried to they were so hardly trying to take out, bring out the moon from the water. Then when the branches of the tree fall into water, then they cannot see the moon. For them, the reflection of the moon and the moon are same. So in order to realize emptiness, we need to apply the reflection of the moon, how it exists, how it appears to our eyes, how we react on the moon. So I said many times, realizing emptiness is very important. Naturally, we have a strong, naturally we have a desire always to be happy. Naturally, we have a desire to avoid suffering. So for some time we can be free from suffering. Sometimes we can achieve certain happiness. But so far we haven't achieved the ultimate happiness. So far we're not able to eliminate the suffering forever. Because until now we are not feel so hot. Then we took a shower, we feel cool down. Immediately when we come out from the bathroom, then we feel again the hotness. So until now, all the practice, all the methods we applying in order to achieve happiness, everything becomes very temporary. Therefore, if we realize emptiness, then actually we will get. So we will have the actual methods, actual means how to avoid suffering, how to eliminate the root of the suffering, also how to achieve everlasting happiness. So we need to realize emptiness. The second, are we stable or not for listening and studying emptiness? Yes, we are very stable, person for listening and studying of emptiness. Reason number one. So we have been practicing Dharma for many years. Therefore, we have enough merit to understand emptiness. Reason number two, we are not just practicing Dharma, we have been practicing the Mahayana teaching, mainly a great compassion. So when we cultivate every day great compassion, then naturally everybody thinks, I want to be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Achieving Buddhahood depends on two important factors, bodhicitta and emptiness. So according to Tibetan masters, they are saying, understanding bodhicitta is very easy. Not easy at all for cultivating, bodhicitta. Understanding emptiness is very difficult. It is not difficult to realize emptiness. We try to understand so difficult. Actually, realizing emptiness is much easier than the cultivating bodhicitta. We thought I can practice bodhicitta. We thought I'm not going to understand emptiness. It's opposite. In the reality, in the real sense, it's opposite. Therefore, we have to realize emptiness. Therefore, I said many times, you just, observe an object like flower. When we look at the flower very closely, we know the flower needs water, soil, sunlight, heat. But then we need to study very closely actually what is mean flower. The stem, the leaf, the seeds, the shape, and color. When we study closely, to the flower, at the end, for us, the flower is look like illusion. We will realize the flower is look like illusion. The flower is there. When we closely analyze, for us, there's no such as we say, this is the flower. So this is the clear indication. The things around us are there, is there. They cannot be there as a, independent. So how we should realize emptiness? That means study the text. Particularly, we need to study the tea, like that is a true Buddhist schools, mainly the true Madhyamaka school. So, as this is kind of review for our last class. Then, when we really think, when we really believe from our heart, realizing emptiness is very, very important. Then second, and we need to think, we seriously think how to realize emptiness. First, we need to believe, we must have a strong conviction. Realizing emptiness is very, very important. Without realizing emptiness, I cannot be free from suffering. I cannot eliminate the root of the samsara. I cannot achieve, in the lasting, everlasting happiness, which is the cessation of Buddhahood. Therefore, realizing emptiness is very important. We need to believe. Second, if you are very, strongly believe realizing emptiness is very important, then our study become more serious. So, which text we must study? It depends on, individual. If you have a, lot of free times, if you are very smart or intelligent, you can read the extensive teaching. You can study based on the extensive teaching. If you are quite busy person, then the best is the intermediate way and commentary by Lamrim Kappa. It's the best, Madhyamaka text for studying emptiness. When you are very serious about emptiness, then all the good qualities, right, will arise in your minds. Practicing generosity. So practicing generosity means you are making kind of, insurance in this lifetime. You are making an insurance for next life. You can have a well-being. The second, practicing the morality means you are very much preparing. You are doing the right preparation, how to be again human being, how to born as a good beings who can have a time to study emptiness, who can have all the daily necessary condition. And third, then you will practice great compassion, because achieving Buddhahood is depend on bodhicitta. Achieving bodhicitta is very much depends on great compassion. Not only that, if we practice great compassion, all our daily practice can be cause, can be a conducive condition for achieving Buddhahood. If we don't practice great compassion, our daily practice cannot be cause for achieving Buddhahood. And also when you do dedication, you are not going to dedicate the merit for simple achievement. You always, whatever you're going to dedicate the merit, you're going to dedicate for achieving Buddhahood. You're going to dedicate the merit for realizing emptiness. Then, in order to continuously practice the great compassion, pure morality, then you always practice forbearance, because otherwise the anger is one of the serious negative thoughts for destroying the compassion, destroying the kindness, also destroying the inner peace. Therefore, so if you really believe realizing emptiness is very important, then every day we need to practice 5 practices. Then how Chandrakirti, explained emptiness based on the Nagarjuna treatise. Then he said, whatever I'm going to explain about emptiness is based on the Nagarjuna treatise, based on the Buddha's teachings. So the meaning of emptiness we must explain based on the teaching, or we need to establish the meaning of emptiness through reasoning. That means we need to study, we need to read the books. Then we need to use all the logic and reasoning for how reasoning to establish the emptiness. Then, in order to realize emptiness, the first important is identify the object of negation. Identify the object of negation. So how we should identify object of the negation? How? If we don't identify, if we not able to identify object of the negation, what happened? If we not able to identify object of negation, the meaning of emptiness cannot be correct. If we're not able to identify object of the negation, still we try to meditate on emptiness, then the grasping never going to be undermined. Right? Therefore, so important, identify object of negation. Therefore, Shantideva said, without touching upon the imputed entity, the absence of its reality cannot be grasped. It's exactly the same. Before we really, point our finger to someone saying you are thief, right? Before we saying someone, we pointing our finger to someone, you are thief. We really need to know the image. We must identify the person, right? We must identify the person's feature, how the person is look like. Without identifying the person, then we wrongly point our finger to someone else. Therefore, we need to identify, observe, negation. So there are two Madhyamakas schools. Identified also as a two schools. Identifying the grasping to existence according to the Swatantika Madhyamaka standpoint. So there are four, Buddhist school or Buddhist proponents or tenets. First is the Vipashika, second is the Swatantika, third is the Chittamantra, fourth is the Madhyamaka. Within the Madhyamaka, there are two, Swatantika, and the Pasangika. Therefore, Lama Tsongkhapa, he thought, in order to explain the emptiness, in order to explain in order to identify the innate ignorance, he thought first I must explain the meaning of emptiness and explain the innate ignorance according to the Swatantika. It has three parts. Identify the two existent and grasping at the two existent, number one. Then number two, presenting true and the falsity, truth and the falsity within the context of worldly convention through analogy or magical illusion. Then number three, explaining the analogy by relating it to the actual reference. So, in order to realize the actual emptiness, first we need to know the meaning of emptiness according to the Swatantika school. Clear? Also, in order to identify the innate ignorance, also first we need to know the innate ignorance according to the Pasangika. According to Swatantika school. Because these two are very similar. Also, first we understand the two existent, then the grasping in the two existent according to the Swatantika school. Therefore, for us more easy to understand the actual emptiness, the actual innate ignorance. Clear? So Lama Tsongkhapa is saying here, this presentation has two parts: identifying, grasping at the true existence according to the Savadantika Madhyamaka standpoint, and identify grasping at the true existence according to Pasangika Madhyamaka standpoint. This is true Madhyamaka. Therefore, within the Savadantika Madhyamaka, there's a three parts: identifying true existence and grasping at true existence. Then number two, presenting the true truth and falsity, which is truth, which is false, falsity, according to the worldly convention through analogy of magical illusion. The truth can be two types. First is the truth according to the worldly being. Right? Therefore, what he is saying, the false and truths. So Lama Tsongkhapa was saying, I will explain according to the worldly beings. For example, this book, everybody say, this truth is a real book. Real book. Second, last night you have a dream about this book. You saw this book in dream, right? So the book in dream is truth or false? False. It's not the real book. So according to our perception, according to our belief, we say this book is the real book. The book in my dream is false. It's not really true. That be differentiate. Generally, the book in my hand, the book in your dream, both is not really true. Then how Lama Tsongkhapa explained the truth and falsity? He explained the true, falsity, and truth using the analogy of magical illusion, and explaining the analogy by relating to the actual reference. Remember these three parts. Now identify the existence and grasping at the true existence according to the Savadantika Madhyamaka standpoint, according to Savadantika Madhyamaka. Other reliable treatises of Savadantika make no clear clarification of the object of negation. That there are many masters who consider as a Savadantika proponent. None of the masters explain the object of negation. Only the Kamalashila, light of the middle way, present, criterion for conventional existence. Right? He explained the conventional existence. Criterion for conventional existence. Then the opposite, the contrary of which can be recognized as the constituting the criterion of the ultimate or true existence. Here's what he texts. Here everybody must remember in your mind, there's not many reliable texts. Reliable master explain the object of negation according to which school? Savadantika school. There's not much reliable, like text and master who explain negation according to the Swatantra school, except whom Karmala Shila, Kamala Shila, which takes the light of the middle way. So how he explain the object of negation, present as criterion for conventional existence. He explained the conventional existence. Then the opposite is, recognized as a constituting, criterion of ultimate or true existence. This means conventionally existent is one. The opposite of the conventional existence is the ultimate truth or true. Right? This first is very simple. Say, that means all phenomena, according to Savatantika school, all phenomena, any phenomena which is existent, those are conventionally existent. Conventionally existent. The opposite of the conventional existence is ultimate or true existence. Those are the negation. Here you should not confuse, the conventional truth and the conventional existence is different. This means this book is conventionally existent. This book is conventional truth. But the emptiness, emptiness is conventionally existent, but the emptiness is not the conventional truth. Emptiness is ultimate truth. So according to the Savatantika school, he distinguished conventional existence and the conventional truth. Clear? What they distinguish? Conventional existence and conventional truth are separate. Therefore, here he said, and also Baba said here, criterion for the conventional existence is present at criterion for conventional existence. The contrary means the opposite. That the opposite of which can be recognized as the constituting criterion of ultimate or true existence. Clear? First, at the beginning, you need to know conventional existence, conventional true is not exactly same, not same. For example, I use the book is conventional truth, conventionally existent as well. The emptiness is conventionally existent, not conventional truth. Therefore, according to the Savatantika school, opposite of the conventional existence, clear? Opposite of the conventional existence, the contrary of the conventional existence is ultimate or true existence. Now we need Ramasungaba cited the quotation from the light of the middle way. Though things do not possess essence in the reality, the erroneous mind refers them contrary to their nature. This mind is called the conventional or literally concealer, because as it were to obscure the suggestness, or through it, suggestness is covered over as the suggester Sutara states. So there's a long there's a quotation, also commentary by Lama Tsongkhapa. Okay, we just skip this part. Now you just go down the before the last paragraph in the between page number 175. The meaning here, however, is not that they exist as the consular, as the grasping at the true existence. Understood this, thus, an existence through its own objective methods, mode of the being, and not positive independence. Positive independence on the being perceived by cognition, or posited by the virtues of the power of cognition, constitute true ultimate final existence. Once more understood this, an existence, that is the phenomena which is existent, how the phenomena exist through its own objective mode of being. That means the thing is there by their sight, through its own objective modes. For example, this book is existent. How the book is exist? Its own objective mode of being. That means the book is there by their own objective side. I mean the book is there from the book side. That book side. This is the negation or ultimate or final ultimate truth. Being is not posited, independence being perceived by cognition or posited by virtues of the power of cognition, constitute true ultimate final existence. Then the grasping at this is the innate grasping at the true existence. Clear? Therefore, the books exist by their own side, is the ultimate book and truly existent book. Mean the truly existent book is the negation. Man, according to the Svatanta Sukha, this book is posited established through the cognition mind, right? Not posited independence on the being perceived by the cognition or posited by virtues of the power of cognition. This means this the definition of constitute true ultimate final existence. Then the mind, which is grabs, the thing is then the mind we name the innate grasping. Okay, here we just there's a question for easy to understand. According to the first school of Madhyamaka, which is Savatinda school, Savatinda school. According to the school, what is the negation of emptiness? For example, based on this book, all school accept truth. The book itself is the conventional truth. The emptiness of the book is ultimate truth. All phenomena is the true truths, always there. Here. Then, now you should not confuse, the ultimate truth, which is said within the true truths, there's ultimate truth. Then also said, the ultimate, truly existent negation. These are also very easy to confuse. So going to the first school, which is the Swatantika school, the book is there. The book exists based on, posited by the cognition. The book which is cognized by mind, the book is established by the cognized mind. Without posited or without established by the cognized book, without established by the thoughts, without posited by the thoughts, the book is true existent. The book is the negation. And grasping at this is an innate grasping at the true existence. There's been, according to the Swatantika school, none of the phenomena, permanent or impermanent, any of the phenomena never be exists ultimately, truly. Because all phenomena around us establish, exist by a power of cognition, power of, thoughts. Then, when we believe ourselves, when we believe innately, naturally, everything around me are there without depends on my own cognition. Mean the mind is the ignorance. The mind which perceive the phenomena, and apprehend the phenomena is there without depends on the thoughts, without depends on the cognition. The mind we name the innate ignorance. Clear? I think I hope quite clear. Now it become more clear after answering the question. One may ask, if this is so, what this is so mean? None of the phenomena can be exist without, cannot be exist without depends on the cognition, without depends on the mind power. That means all phenomena around us, there exist, those phenomena are there, depends on cognitions, depends on the mind power. The phenomena which exists there without depends on the thoughts, cognition, then the phenomena we name, ultimate, true existence, true, ultimate and final existence. Then the mind grabs, and this is the inner grasping at the true existence. Now we just say, like a simple way, I can put this way, very simply. Let's say you have an innate ignorance about the book. For example, let's say, you have an innate ignorance about the book. So which book I'm talking? Not this book. The book in your dream. The book in your dream. Right? So you had a dream about this book. You have a dream, not only dreaming, you really believe that time you had a book. Right? Normally we have seen many dreams. Sometimes you won kind of big lottery. In your dream, you win a lottery, right? You win lottery. Not only just winning the lottery, you are so happy. You are so happy in the dream. The happiness you have in the dream, the mind you grabs, you are, winning, you win a big lottery. The money is the innate, right? It's naturally come. It naturally you grabs the dream lottery is the real lottery, right? Then when you awake from the sleeping, then you reflect. You make a reflection about the, winning the lottery. When you reflect, then what you're going to know? Oh, the winning the big lottery is established by my own minds, right? Own minds. Nobody can establish the, winning big lottery in your dream, but you yourself establish the dreaming. Not only establish, at that moment you grasp, your mind apprehending the winning lottery. So after you reflect on the dream, now you realize, oh, the dream is just established by my mind power, my mind's power, right? This is the analogy. Now, the book. Before we study about the Madhyamaka, or before we study about the Buddhism, for us, book means the book is there. Not really depends on anything. Not depends on my thoughts. The book means this is there. This can be book because of from its own mode or own side. That means so many years before we study Buddhism, particularly before we study the tenets, so many years. So we, grasp, we apprehend book is there without depends on my mind power. My mind power. Right? The mind which is grabs the book is there, not depends on my mind power, not posited by cognition, and the mind we name ignorance. Ignorance. So many people in this day, ignorance means knowing nothing. That is not the definition of ignorance. What means ignorance mean? Knowing nothing. Not knowing is ignorance. Right? It's not the definition. For example, we don't know so many things. And we say, I have a lot of ignorance. I have so many thoughts, we just don't know anything. So it is not the definition, not the meaning of ignorance. Ignorance is the opposite of the wisdom of realizing emptiness. The wisdom which realizes emptiness, the wisdom apprehends. The wisdom apprehends all phenomena. The nature is emptiness. When you analyze, there's nothing. When I say when you analyze, there's nothing. I'm not saying there's nothing. When you analyze, finally, when you reach to the 0 point, there's nothing. Right? Then the opposite of the wisdom is the emptiness. The opposite of the wisdom is ignorance. That means both are mind, okay? Wisdom is a mind, the ignorance also a mind. That means both the wisdom and the ignorance, both are looking at one single phenomena. Right? Both of two eyes. Let's say I wear glasses. One glass, the right glass is the yellow, other is the red. Right? When you look at a phenomena, what kind of phenomena you can see? Half is red, half is yellow. Red and yellow. Both eyes looking at same phenomena, but both eyes not perceiving the same thing. One perceive the red, thing, other perceive the yellow. It's looking totally different. That means ignorance and the wisdom. Let's look at the same phenomena. Phenomena is same. For example, a book. Ignorance and the wisdom both are looking at the ignorance, perceiving the book. Both perceiving the book. The wisdom perceived the wisdom perceived the emptiness of the book. Ignorance perceived the book which is ultimately exists, ultimate book, the truly existent book. Wisdom exists empty of the ultimate existent book, empty of truly existent books. Therefore, wisdom is total opposite of ignorance. Ignorance has a total opposite apprehension. Now then there's a question about how the question arises here. So here say, according to the Swatantrika school, there's not truly existent phenomena. There's not ultimate phenomena, right? Not truly existent phenomena, not ultimate phenomena, not final existent phenomena. Then there's a question arises here. One might say, ask, if this is so, if nothing, if there's no ultimate existence, there's no truly existence, how do you explain this statement? Statement also come from the light of the middle way. Explain this statement in the light of the middle way. What is the statement? The statement is here to say that ultimately there is no arising, is to say that the disintegration and so on are not established as such by the perfect cognition. For through implication, indirectly we're saying through implication, this defines ultimate existence and the ultimate arising in terms of the being established as arising and as existent by the rational cognition of the suggestness. That means the statement saying ultimately there is a not arising is to say that they are not established as such by the perfection cognition. For through implication, defines ultimate existence and arising in terms of being established as arising and existent by the rational cognition of the suggestness. Then there's a question that if you say, according to this school, there's no ultimate arising, there's no truly existent phenomena, then how come the statement said such a thing arises within the rational cognition? The reply is, yes, this is true. Your question is true. But you must understand that with respect to previous ultimately, there are two senses of terms in ultimate. Yeah, so in ultimate, when you hear, such as ultimate truth, such as there's no ultimate, or truly existent. You need to always remember two types of, two types of, the two meaning, the meaning of ultimate. Two sense of the terms, term, ultimate. One is where rational cognition of emptiness in the form of the three forms, wisdom of hearing, reflection, and meditation are characterized ultimate. That means the thoughts which reflect on emptiness, the thought means say ultimate. Reflection and meditation are characterized as ultimate. Phenomena are not established by such as cognition in the manner defined above. The other sense of ultimate is where existence through a thing on objective mode of the being and the not by virtues of the power of cognition is defined as ultimate existence. Now, this truth, you have to be very clear. The meaning of the true ultimate, you have to be very clear. Otherwise, you always have a confusion. For example, we say emptiness is ultimate truth, right? We say conventional truth and ultimate truth. The words, the books are the conventional truth. Emptiness is ultimate truth. So when we say emptiness is ultimate truth, so the ultimate is referred to which ultimate? There's a two types of ultimate, right? When we say emptiness is ultimate truth, means there's a mind we name ultimate. Tundam. Then the mind which reflect on emptiness, the mind which is meditate on emptiness, the mind we name ultimate. The mind which is meditative, on emptiness, the mind which is reflect on emptiness, then the mind we name ultimate. Therefore, emptiness is ultimate true because emptiness is apprehended by mind. Therefore, I live as a homework, you read many times, how to understand the meaning of ultimate as a true. Two sense of term ultimate. One is where rational cognition of emptiness in the form of three forms called wisdom of hearing, wisdom of reflection, the wisdom of meditation are characterized as the ultimate. Phenomena are not as ultimate. Phenomena are established by such as cognized in the manner of defined above. Then the other sense of ultimate is where existence through a thing's own objective mode of being and not by virtues of the power of cognition is identified as ultimate existence. I give you as a homework, please, next time when you come back on Saturday, right? Saturday, you have to be very clear about there's a meaning of ultimate as a true. If you are very clear about, the ultimate, there's a true kind of meaning, then for you become very clear emptiness, ultimate truth, or rest of the phenomena, conventional truth. It's same thing. Mind, let's say, divided into two types of mind. conventional mind, ultimate mind. Conventional mind, ultimate mind. The mind which reflect, hearing, meditate on, the conventional phenomena, then the mind we name conventional. The mind which reflect or meditate on emptiness, the mind we name ultimate. Therefore, true truth, conventional truth. Conventional truth means truth for the conventional mind, truth for the ultimate mind. Right? Ultimate mind. And also, you should not think the ultimate mind exists, ultimately. No. That means it's saying, if you compare the two minds, the conventional mind, ultimate mind, if you compare these two minds, we can say, the mind which is meditated on emptiness, the mind which reflects on it is more pure. Other are not. Anyway, just leave as a homework for you. Now we go a little bit more of these two. Explain more clearly, okay? Of these two, the first ultimate and something established from its perspective do exist. Do exist. Of the two, these two, the first ultimate and something established for it is perceived do exist. This means the mind which is named ultimate is also exists. The object which is perceived by ultimate truth is also exists. While it is impossible for the second ultimate and something established from its perspective to exist. Therefore, while existing ultimate in the second sense does imply existing ultimately in the first sense. Grasping in terms of the first sense of ultimate existence do not constitute innate grasping at the true existence. For innate grasping is true existence requires grasping at the thing in the second sense of ultimate existence. Now, what he is saying, simply, I didn't put in a simple way, the meaning of ultimate is a true. One is, a wisdom is named ultimate. Second ultimate means the thing is not possessed by the mind power or not really established by the cognizant mind, they be named ultimate. The first truth, of this truth, the first ultimate is exists, which is the wisdom is there. The first ultimate is exists. Such a thing is perceived to the first ultimate. Perceived to exist mean look at emptiness is exist, right? The emptiness is exist to exist. The emptiness is ultimate true. Then the emptiness is perceived by the ultimate, which is the wisdom. The wisdom is ultimate, and the emptiness is perceived by the ultimate mind. Both is exist. The second is impossible. Therefore, while existing the second sense does simply exist in ultimate in the first. No. The second ultimate and the something established form is perspective to exist. Therefore, while existing, while it is impossible for the second ultimate is impossible to be exist. What's the second ultimate? The second ultimate is the phenomena which is exists without depends on the cognized mind, the cognition minds. So this I give you a little as a homework, so you can have one more time to read. Now we just move to the next topic, presenting the truth and the falsity within the context of the worldly convention through the analogy of magical illusion. So now still we are continuously study about the Swadantaka school, presenting the truth and the falsity within the context of worldly convention through analogy of magical illusion. That means the magical illusion used as an analogy, then explain there's two types of phenomena. One is the truth, one is the falsity, according to worldly being, according to us. Presenting truth and falsity within the context of worldly convention through analogy of magical illusion. Last time I explained quite precisely. I hope this will be more easy for you guys. The analogy of magical illusion has been held as a way of making one understand how something exists by virtues of being posited by the power of the mind, and how something exists without being posited in such a manner. When the magician conjures a horse or elephant. So the first one, what he's saying here, according to this school, the magical illusion is the best analogy to explain the true truth. Particularly making one understand how something exists. Something exists by what? Exists by virtues of being posited by power of mind. Right? So when you study the illusion, magical illusion, you will notice something established by the mind power, and how something exists without being posited in such a manner. When the magician conjures, conjure mean? What does conjure mean? Making, like a manifest, or making manifest, we could also emanate. Not emanate, right? Emanate. Conjure mean? Such a thing let you appear to you. Conjuring. The magician conjures a horse or elephant from the pebbles, stick, and so on. Pebble is kind of stone, there's a stick, and so on. Three types of people are present. Let's say now we can imagine we are in the magician place. Now we all together in the big hall. Then suddenly the magician conjure a horse. And he just produced a horse or elephant. How the magician, emanate or conjure a horse based on the three things: the pebbles, stick, and the mantra, substance of mantra. Those are necessary, requires. That time there will be three types of people in the group. Three types of people are present. The magician himself, that he's there. The second one, the specters whose eyes are affected. The second, there's another group of people whose mind are affected by what? The mantra, the substance, the pebble, the stone. And the spectre whose eyes are unaffected. Clear? There's three types of the magician and a group of people eyes affected. The group of people eyes are unaffected. Both of them in the same place. Both of them are looking on the stage. In the first case, who is the first one? The magician. The magician. In the first case, the horse or elephant is perceived. Perceived to whom? Perceived to the magician. Right? When the magician conjures a horse, also he can see the horse. He can see also elephant. He perceive what? Perceive horse or elephant. Let's say elephant, right? We use the elephant. Perceived, but not apprehended. Not apprehended. Right? Let's say all of you are magician. You conjure like a apple, big apple. Yes, you can see the apple, right? You can perceive the apple for your eyes. You can perceive. Would you apprehend it? No, right? You never think, I want to eat the apple. You never think, wow, this apple is so nice. You never think. But you can see the big apple, but you don't have let's say, craving to eat the apple. Why don't you have a craving to eat the apple? Why don't you have? So you know, it is just a magician apple. You cannot eat it. Right? That means that the magician can perceive the elephant. He's not going to apprehend it, the elephant as a real elephant. In the second case, it is both what? It is both perceived and apprehended. But in the third case, there's neither perception nor apprehension. Why not? The third case, there's no perception, no apprehension. Why not? Huh? This one you must remember, affected mind. The mind is affected. The magician's eyes, the mind is affected by mantra and substance. And group of people, among the group, maybe 100 people, the minds are affected. Therefore, the people whose mind is affected, they can see the horse and elephant. The illusion, the magician and the rest people whose mind is affected, both of them can see elephant. So what is the differences between magician and those people whose mind are affected? What are the differences? Both of them perceive the elephant. The magician never apprehend the elephant. Right? The group of people whose mind is affected, they perceive the elephant, not only perceive, the people believe there's a real elephant. Right? Then let's say, all of you are magician. Let's say I'm a magician, you are also in the whole. All of your mind is affected. In all people will affect it. There's other people on the other side. Their mind is never affected by the mantra or substance. So when I conjure an elephant, can you perceive the elephant? Can you see the elephant? You can see. Your mind is affected. Can I see the elephant? Yes, I can see. I'm a magician. Yes, I can see it. Because my mind also affected. They, other people, they can they see the elephant? No, their mind is unaffected. They cannot see. All of you can see. I also can see. So, what is the difference? You and me. Me, I can perceive the elephant and not going to believe there's a real elephant. You perceive the elephant, you really believe there's an elephant. Why then those people can perceive, cannot perceive? They cannot. Their mind is unaffected. They don't have a perception, they don't have an apprehension. They cannot say anything on the stage. But remember the three types of like people. Who are the three types of people? Three types of people. Number one, magician. Number two, the people whose mind are affected. Third person, the person, the people whose mind is unaffected. Remember, three types of people. Here's most clearly, in the first case, the horse elephant is perceived but not apprehended. In the second case, it is both perceived and apprehended. While in the third case, there's neither perception nor apprehension of the horse or elephant. Now, this is the illusion. Now you come into like a point. When the basis of conjuring the illusion is perceived as a horse or as an elephant, this one I think unlikely mistaking the rope of the snake, or one can say that the rope is a snake for the perception, but not in the general. This one not important, just scare. Now just move to the second paragraph, 177. Now for the magician, the illusory elephant or horse is posited from the point of view of how it appears to an erroneous perception. Right? Now, if you ask, let's say, now we really believe there's a real elephant. Then we ask the magician, is there a real elephant? Or the magician would say, when we ask to the magician, is there a real elephant? The answer? He could say yes or no. Yeah, in order to deceive, he say yes. If could say be honest, or could say no elephant. No elephant. Then if we ask second question, then can you see the elephant? Yes, I can see it. Then how you really, there's no elephant, but we can see as an elephant how it's come. They say, we can see as an elephant due to our,
Sorry, I can't help you with that.
They press, someone press something. I think they press the, what do you call? series, Siri. I think somebody click the Siri. I think while you are listening the class, I think you are playing the mobile. Mistakenly you press the Siri. That's me. So now
Geshe, this is not from Siri. This is not from Siri. It's a feature. I'm not sure where the feature comes from because all of us are on mute.
and I'm definitely not. Okay, it's a joke. From the point of view of how it's applied to the erroneous perception. It is not positive. However, from the point of view of the basis from the conjured illusion, from the perspective of the prospector, however, the appeal to the horse as apprehended posited through the power. Yeah, now you can begin to imagine the differences we and the magician. The magician, he know, yes, I can see the horse, I can see the elephant. There's no real. Then how you really establish, how you really, for you say, oh, there's a look like elephant. How is there? And he know is there because of the affected mind. If my mind is not affected, not be affected, I cannot see. He knows. For us, when we perceive the elephant, for us, we really thought there's a real elephant, real elephant, real elephant. For us, we're not going to understand the elephant on the stage is actually posited by my own, the affected mind, like a dream. When we have a dream, we're not going to say, when we have a dream about like a book, we're not going to say the book in the dream is not exist. It's there. It's not real book. The book in the dream, the elephant in the dream is there. Until we awake, for us, the dream elephant is real elephant. The dream book is real book, right? So after we fully awake, when we reflect about the dreaming, then what we're going to understand? Oh, it was just, my dream. Just my dream. Everything happened due to my mind reflection, mind kind of manifestation. That means the books and elephant in your dream is just within in your mind. There's not from the, these are not this objective phenomena, right? Likewise, same now, this is how on the basis of the analogy on the apprehend something to be posited through the power of mind or not posited through it. So when an appearance perceive the relation to the giving basis, there are two possibilities. One where the appear constitute mode of existence as the perceived, and other one is does not. Now we just need to think based on this line. The magician can really understood the real magician elephant. He really understand the magician elephant is just because of my mind power. For us, until somebody, introduce, somebody explain, oh, it's not the real, it's just because we are, affected mind. Until then, there we really think there's a real elephant. For us, there's a real elephant. For the magician, there's no real magician, real elephant. So which one is truth? Who is truth? Who is false? We are false. We thought we apprehended there's a real elephant. For us, we are false, we are mistaken. Magician is true. What he said, what he believed is the truth, reality of the elephant. What we believe, what we apprehend is the false, but the truth of the elephant. Therefore, this last sentence is saying here, so when an appearance is perceived in the relation to the giving basis, there are two possibilities. One where what appears constitute is mode of existence as a precept, and other word is it does not. One is the real, one is the no real. By comprehending this point well, one will be able to avoid the confusion that arises from the thoughts. Since objects are established by the valid cognition, and since valid cognition are themselves the cognitive state, the establishment of the object would constitute the object being posited through the power of the cognition. In that case, true existence will be negated, even the system of the Buddhist essentialist. Now here come, there's a little bit kind of debate or doubt. When we really understand, all the phenomena around us, established by mind power, established by the cognitive mind, according to the Sotanta school, then they have a doubt. Oh, this is the case. Then maybe the first two school, right? First two school, the Vibhashika and Sutantika school. Do they understand the things around us, established by manpower or not? Because they understood all the phenomena around us, cognized by the cognitive mind. Cognized by the cognitive mind. Do they understand all the phenomena around us, established, posited by our mind power, is a question. If we say yes, the first essential school, the essential school mean the first two school, we say yeah, they understood all phenomena around us, established by the force, established by the cognitive mind. Then they go to argue, oh, that means do they understand, do they negate it, the negation? Because they fully understood everything around us is established by thought. Everything is not positive, but it is impossible establish or exist there without manpower. There's a serious kind of debate going on. Then here Lama Tsongkhapa answer according to the Madhyamaka text. In that case, true existence will be negated, even the system of the Buddhist essentialness. One will thus be able to disengage, neglect, disentangle the confliction of the true sense. For the sense is which objects are said to be defined by the valid cognition, refer to the two classes of the objects being cognized by the valid cognition. So this sense is very different from the previous sense. According to the Yoga Chitta Madhyamaka, the appearance of the illusion is now is talking about actually how the illusory elephant and horse are exactly established. So I give you as a homework, please read the page number 174, 73, 74, 75, 76, 78. Read very carefully and really try to digest the meaning. The next class, we will start from the explaining the analogy by relating it to the actual reference. So first we need to know the analogy. The second, based on the analogy, based on the example, then we try to understand the emptiness of the emptiness, also the negation according to the Sautantika school. Okay, this is for today's class. So also related to today class or lesson, so mainly Lama Tsongkhapa explained none of the phenomena exists, established, none of the phenomena will be there without dependence on cognition mind, without dependence on the mind power, right? Mind power. For us, yes, it's explained based on the explained according to the Sautantika school, but also in our daily life, we really need to think how things exist. Also need to remember the analogy of the illusory elephant and horses. As an ordinary being, moment by moment, for us, very easy to arise attachment. Attachment to anything, or very easy to arise hatred or anger, ego, or pride, or anything. The best way to reduce attachment, to remember the object which appeared to my mind as a beautiful object, the phenomena which appeared to my mind as an attractive phenomena is mainly established by my own mind power. That means my mind is the trigger to arouse attachment. And my mind is the trigger to arousing anger. When we realize me and my mind are the trigger to arouse all the negative thoughts, and for us very easy to control, right? Control. Usually in the general sense, people always blame to other. Now today we learn beautiful object, ugly object, good object, bad object, appreciable object, inappreciable object, everything established by my own mind power. Mean your mind is in your hand, you can control. Number one. Number two, we really need to learn, we really need to establish a strong kind of view, strong kind of belief. Our minds look like very fragile, right? Very kind of easy to be happy, easy to be upset. After we study Madhyamaka, after we have been studying Buddhism for many years, particularly the tenets, the view, we have to learn, I should not be too happy, something which is good thing happened to you. I should not be, upset. I should not be too upset some bad thing happened to my life. Because the good things never be there as a permanent phenomenon. This can be changed. A good thing happened in your life. It's happened for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1 day, 3 days, few years. It's happened. Which is very good. We appreciate. Which is very good. It's happened to me. It's good thing happened to my life. You should not be too excited. Should not be too happy, overwhelmed. Because again, the good thing also impermanent. Always remember that, the moment is changing. Should not be too happy, going to change. Should not be too upset, going to be changed. Look at, very powerful, like eagle, who has a very powerful wing. We believe in the ancient time, there's no aeroplane. The eagle is one of the powerful birds. The bird can fly, a few thousand meters high. Can we fly forever? Cannot. One day, you need to come down, have to touch the ground. One day, so the bird going to die. Right? Therefore, things change naturally. We can say naturally, but I said in the past, in Buddhist, we really cannot use something happen naturally. Things change due to the cause of the condition. Change cause of it. This one we really need to learn how to, establish stable mind, stable emotion. Should not be too happy, some good thing happen. Should not be too upset, some bad thing happen. Everything, going to be changed. Here I will ask you a question. Does everybody have some kind of special notification, notice when you go around on the park, on the forest, particularly, early morning when you go around, you can see a lot of leaf, fall on the ground in the park, in your house, around your house. You can see, everybody can see the leaf is, on the ground. So when you look at the leaf on the ground, sometimes for you very easy to accept the reality. The leaves on the ground, you cannot say, oh, the leaves are very fresh, quite old, quite dry, or most of them very dry, and all leaf always fall on the ground. And sometimes you can see, a few leaves is quite fresh. Very, very few leaves is very fresh. When we reflect, when we think about those leaves on the ground, we need to know so many people, so many sentient beings, passing away due to expire or due to ending their timing. You said many old, dry leaf fall on the ground. Among the leaves, you can see some, leaf is not that, like old, still okay, still is fall on the ground. This means you need to think, yes, someone, really living this world due to, certain kind of unfavorable condition. Then also sometimes you can see within the leaves, certain leaves is very strong and very fresh. How the fresh, very strong and fresh leaf fall down? Due to the, obstacle, due to, certain condition. Then, when you think, if all the leaves still stick on the tree, what will it look like? None of the leaf fall on the ground. Never, you always touch, stick with the leaf. What do you think? Do you think the tree is beautiful? No, right? Because then the tree is kind of full of leaf, all leaf, very old leaf. The tree is completely covered by leaf. You cannot see the beauty of tree. Therefore, this world where we live, somebody is going, coming in the world, somebody have to live. If we're not going to leave anybody, the world become very crowded. Very crowded. The population is so huge that we have a problem. Therefore, because many people feel so upset for, like many years when someone pass away or very close to you. So they feel so upset for many, many, many years. If you have this kind of, emotional problem, still your memory is still, attached with this person. Just every morning or evening, go around, you can just watch, look at the leaf which is all on the ground. Therefore, what I'm saying here, so many people in this day, still having a lot of emotional anxiety, like depression, sadness, because they don't know how to control this kind of emotion. Sometimes when you go around, watch the leaf on the ground, but easy to overcome the emotional problems. Okay, so today we can stop our class here. You can do the dedication from the root text. The last sentence was okay.